Greetings, Islam, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, and all the many words of peace throughout all the human family. I'm Brother Fonte Sal, and today we're just going to talk about Gala Games and whatever we want to talk about. I fly a starship across the universe divide, and when I reach the other side, I'll wait for people to come in the room. Good to see you. Good to see you. And if you heard me, as I bellowed it through, as I bellowed it through the blockchain, you would have owned Gala. Wow, look at you come to the room. I appreciate you coming here. Gala Games, baby, for real. Oh, hasn't that been fun? But this has been the story of my life. I'm going to tell you about how I got to be who I am. I told you all my life I wanted to be a cowboy. And that's what I got to go do. And it taught me a lot of stuff on how to recognize wins and even more wins. Gala Games is just beginning. Who wants to be a billionaire? Not me. I want to be a quadrillionaire. Who wants to be, I ask you again, who wants to be a billionaire? Not me. I want to be a quadrillionaire. But you still have great opportunity with Gala Games. The link will be, I'll make sure the link is here. I want to see how many people actually use my link and buy a node. I want to see how many people use my link and buy a node. I was screaming buy nodes when they were dirt cheap, when you could buy millions upon millions upon millions of Gala. Now people can hear me. Can you hear me? I went to Nashville many years ago because some good friends told me, because I worked out and I lived in New Mexico. And some people said, you can sing. I did symposiums and other things. It shows that cowboys do. And they have get-togethers with lots of talent there. And I remember going on a 7-day cattle drive. And some Texas cowboys came down. And there's no slight at people from Texas, but I'm just telling you, they came down to where we live. And there's a little friendly rivalry between New Mexico and Texas. And Texas, they like to do it big. But where we come from, there are no fences. There's only the pinon trees, the brush, and a mountain that will either do you in or you're going to learn to live with it. I learned to live with it. So, how you folks doing? Let's read what we got here. It says, hi. Okay, let me see what we got here. It says, afford a node. I understand that. But what you can do, you can use that link that I provide and get 100 free Gala tokens and start to stack your Gala but you got to play the game though. This is about playing the game. You got to play the game. Greetings to you all. Yeah, and some buddies of mine, I remember being on a 7-day cattle drive. Like I said, I'm probably one of the rarest people that have gotten to live on a land grant. I lived on what they call a land grant in New Mexico, and what they call El Capitan. I lived there with a lady named Betty Schreckengoss. She's probably not in this world anymore, but she allowed me to live in her home. I was there with a man named Bill Schreckengoss, my buddy Thomas Chapman, and we traveled around. We would chop wood on that land grant and go to Roswell and sell that wood. But make a long story short, I went on a 7-day cattle drive, and I had been in New Mexico long enough where I was proficient with a horse and a rope. My buddy Dave Huddleston taught me very well how to ride a horse. No matter how freezing it was, we were on a horse. If it was snowing, I remember sitting on a place called Coyote Mesa, watching Dave ride a horse, and he had it leaning like a freaking dirt bike, and just sparks was coming off a horse's hooves under the stones beneath the snow. And I thought it was the most beautiful thing in the world. Woo! Man, somehow I got stuck in the city. And I hate being in the city. But now I don't have to be in the city anymore. I can buy me any ranch in the friggin' on the planet. That's the truth. That's the truth. If you're here, I'm going to share with you another opportunity. But you first got to hear a story that I got to tell. I was on a 7-day cattle drive, and I remember I had learned enough, and we're out there we were at a place where a man, one of the people who started the Lincoln County War, he was shot. The man who took in Billy the Kid. I remember it was grass that year. It was very green that year. And these baldies, what we call calves, they were very stout. And I got to go and show my handiwork, man. All week long, I got to be there with a man named Buck Reams, but I got to be there also with a guy named Ray Reed. And he sat there and taught me how to play the guitar softly. And he told me something very special that I didn't know. He told me about a song called The Yellow Rose of Texas. And I sat there out on the prairie. We got the cattle there bawling, and he sat there and he was singing to me with the most gentle tune. It's like people strum the guitar a little too hard nowadays. You know, it's meant to lull the cattle asleep because you don't want to cause a stampede. And you just sit there just strumming on his guitar. And he told me about Billy the Kid and how his great whatever, I don't know. I'm not good with whatever ages, but his family member, his bloodline, was with Billy the Kid. He said Billy was a gambler and he didn't cuss at all, but he was a avid gambler. And he beat his friend in cards one night. And when he beat his friends in cards, he won a horse from him. And they lived a long way back to where they had to go rest their heads. And Billy made him walk all behind that horse the whole way. I just remembered that story. I thought it was funny. When I left that symposium after singing, doing poetry and singing, I got to meet the former Texas Playboys. They lined up and shook my hand. I've got to meet a lot of people in my travels, and I'm very grateful. Most of my friends are in the Cowboy Hall of Fame. That's not me name dropping. That's just me telling my story. But now I'm here, and I'm gonna go to wherever I want to go and record one of the best Western albums ever made. I didn't say the best, I said one of the best. Because when I went to Nashville, after they asked me to go there, I remember being in the UA Towers, at the United Artists Towers there. I got to meet a lot of good people, and I got to meet a lot of not so fun people. I remember coming out of the bathroom, coming back, and I could hear a buddy of mine talking to his brother, who owned a studio and had a lot of power there in Nashville. And one of the brothers said to the other, "This is your opportunity to make it big again." He could sing. And he said to the other one, "You think I'm gonna let a nigger come and take over my music? So you know what? You can keep your Nashville. I'm gonna give you the big fucking middle finger to your fucking Nashville like Big John Cass did. And I'm gonna take my money and I'm gonna go record one of the best Western albums ever made. And the world can hear it for free and see what you kept them from hearing in the first place, because it's my time." Now, let's talk about some more crypto, where you get the opportunity to big opportunity to make big dollars in this. Here it is. This is your chance right here. UFO, Digital Currency Group, Merit Circle. All these people are backing this company. These are big players in this. You can go do your own investigation, but that's your opportunity. That's your opportunity to make it big in this gaming sphere, because they're going to build what is called a dark metaverse, planet after planet after planet. This is a great opportunity. Like I said, Gala Games is just beginning. You could still invest in it, but this is an opportunity as well. Take it and run with it. Take it and run with it. Let's see what we got here. It says, what is up with Singularity DAO or Singularity Net? Well, they pump a lot. You know what? I don't care if it pumps or not. I'm staked on its mainnet. Whether it pumps or not, I won't catch that pump, because I know what's coming for it in the future. I know what it's being used for. I know that it will be the brain hub for the AIs and AGI. I want you to think about this. Dr. Ben Gortzel, why is it, if he is the leading AI and AGI scientist on the planet, why is it you can go over to Japan and China and see artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence that looks more advanced than his Sophia? Maybe that's what they wanted you to see. Let's see what we got here. It says, I'm invested in PI3. This is another digital currency group coin. Seems like you might be in the right place, my friend. Let's see what we have here. It says, smash that like button. Please do. I appreciate that. Let's see what we have here. It's already pumped 100%. You talking about this token here. See, I look at things a little bit differently. Yeah, it is. But why don't you, to me personally, this is just me. I'm not talking about what you should do, but I'm talking about what I would do. I just keep buying. I care less about it going up and down. Look, because I know those zeros are going to close. Do you want to be at the party or not? That's how you got to look at it. I'm at the party with my boots on, wild rag, and my pistols are on my hip, and I'm having a ball. This is it right here. These zeros have to close. They're going to close. And so that's how I look at it. Like, I'm just going to keep buying. And if you're here for the long haul, you're holding. If you're sitting here and you're here for the long haul, it's going to go down. It goes back up. But are you wanting to be at the party and make the big gains? You make the big gains by constantly being there and just buying and stacking up. It's not about the notes, or what they call in the dollar. It's about the crypto. And it's about the crypto that have a use case. Someone could say it's a meme coin. It was a meme coin, but now it is doing something totally different. That's why I chose to put finance in this. Let's see what we got here. How much UFO to run a node? I don't know. That's why I don't know, but that's why I keep on stacking it. I don't want to find out. I don't want to find out and have lack thereof. So I'm just going to be at the party. I'll tell you this. I found this token when it just said NA, not available. There was no information available about it, period. I could see how many people had bought for it to have. I could see one person buying and then just myself, period. And I'm pretty sure that one person probably was Becker. Well, seriously, let's see what we got here. And I didn't get it from him. I got it because we vibrate on the same frequency, because I'm searching out gold like he is, period. I see a lot of channels. I know how they are, and I'll call you out. I'm not going to say any names. You all know where you got it from. But I come from a time where we give other men homage and respect. If a person taught me something, I'm going to say thank you. If a lady did something for me, I'm going to tip my hat and say thank you, ma'am. That's just where I come from. And nowadays, everyone wants to pretend like things came from them when they did not. I only saw one person with Gala Games. His logo has like a lumberjack with a beard. I'll find out who he is, and I'll give him respect too. And I didn't find it from him. I just only found him being the only one that was interested in it. And I can clearly see that Gala Games was trying to keep you from purchasing. But I made efforts to purchase anyway, and I figured out how to get into it. And I bought my first node, and I figured it out. And from there, it just went continual. I remember I was with my wife watching TV one night, and I looked, because at first it just spit out cents. And it wasn't a big deal. And I still looked at it. I knew it was going to be big. And my wife saw, kind of attitude about it. And she was in front of me on the couch watching TV, and I was behind her, and I had my laptop open. I closed it down, and then my phone buzzed, and there was a channel I'd never heard of before named Trend Genius. And the words that popped up on the phone said, it was like for me to pay attention, and I did. And I opened my computer up, and I promise you, I saw Gala do some weird stuff. I'm like, is that over 400%? Like, wow. And I told my wife, come look at this. She's like, I don't feel like getting up right now. I'm like, yeah, you might want to see this, she said. She didn't feel like getting up. I said, don't worry about it. I just sat there and looked like, is this real? But I knew it was real because I knew what I asked the universe for, if that makes a lot of sense. And now you have another opportunity. You have another opportunity to invest in this token here, UFO. At least I feel, it's not financial advice, but it's my truth. Here's another person said it's already 100%. Again, I'm not telling you to buy it. You do what you want to do. But I'm telling you, I'm going to continue to buy it. Whether it pumps and goes down, if you feel that, if you believe in a project, you know those zeros are going to close. So you can sit there and not buy if you want to. That's up to you. But I'm telling you what I'm doing, period, literally. And I guarantee you, I'm good at picking these treasures. And I'm going to tell you again, people laugh at Ocean EX. What are you laughing at? The world is having a supply chain issue. And Vechain and Ocean EX are one, period. That platform wasn't necessarily meant for you to go invest there. It was meant for big fish and whales. That's why it says shark fin investing. You know what shark fin investing means? It's a steady, they're sitting there just above the water, just above the surface of the water. Because they're letting you, that's why they only pay a steady 8%. The most of the people invested in that are already wealthy. So they don't mind waiting. Because why would you want to juice a company till it has nothing else left? You want it to grow for the long term. The creator of it clearly said, I invented this company to take over things. They're talking about supply chain. Who can argue with China in supply chain? They supply the planet. So I'm going to listen to what they're saying. If Vechain's sitting next to OceanEX and the Vechain platform or the OceanEX platform was created for it, but you do with what you do with your time and your finance what you want to do. You see what we have here? It says, if it is up 100. No, it's not a group. It's nothing to take lightly. It's not to be taken lightly at all. Yeah, someone said player token. I don't own any, but it's sitting there on that blockchain, and I know that the Chinese don't sleep. They work. They work. They work. They work, and they build. They work. They work, and they build. That's what they do. Period. Literally, all they do is work and build. Lift something up, and I guarantee you're going to see made in China on it. Literally, doesn't matter what it is. It's going to be made in China. Literally, that's just being honest. This cell phone here, this iPhone here, was made in China. Now, they might have they might have heavy security there so that the technology, it does not leak out, so that fakes are not made, but it's still made in China. Period. See what we got here. As I said before, I can care less who buys it or not. I just come here to bring the people who do hear me the treasure. And if they do hear me, they've made a lot of finance. It just is what it is. Period. If you listen to me with Gala, I guarantee you don't have to ever worry about working ever again in your entire life. Maybe 100 lifetimes. Check its white papers. Yeah, you should read its white papers. Yes, of course you should. You should go and do your own investigation. I'm just here to bring you something that could help you out. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on here. I did want to come here and just pass that on to you. It's not a rubbing it in anyone's face. That's not my style. But I am sharing it with you further. I'm sharing with you this is another opportunity. What you want to do with it is up to you. See what we got here. Before I go, it says swap XDC. Yes, of course. Definitely. I like XDC. Yes, I do. I like XDC. Maybe I could. I wish I would have built a XDC node, but during that time, I was out with a lot of crypto so early that you could be someplace and you just couldn't, there will be no wallet for these things a lot of the time. And they'll just sit there, like some tokens, I'd lose millions of tokens on a platform because I couldn't just take them off there. That's back in the day. I might leave them there thinking like, let me find the wallet because the wallet just didn't exist for it. You know, but it's a different story now. Like IQ token. I remember seeing IQ token where you can get so much of it, but you just had no wallet to put it. There was no wallet created. But some of them I got together with tech people and build wallets. See what we got here. Your vision and expansion of view is wide and far instead of seeing narrow and smaller. Thank you for that. You are correct. You are correct. Man is the future. Man is deeds. So if you don't take action, you'll still be sitting there twiddling your thumbs and don't know and be in the same position that you deserve to be in. Sorry to say that. But if you take action, yeah, there's a risk. There's inherent risk in everything. Let's see who's contacting me. Someone contacted me intentionally because they're probably watching my show to block me. I have a lot of people who don't really care for me too much. Not because I've done anything to them. I've only done stuff for them. But jealousy is a strange thing. I'd like to say thank you for your time. And I wish you all the best. And I wish you lots of success. What's up, fam? Crypto Tales. Glad to have you here, brother. Thank you for coming out. Thank you all for coming out. Third Eye Explosion, CA, In Crypto We Trust, Free Kip, Design 85, Joshua Brinkman, Mohammed Salam, Miniar. Everyone here, I'd like to say thank you for coming out, and I wish you all peace and love. And I said, Miggy Smalls, how you doing there? Thank you, family. You have a pleasant day. Peace to you all. Peace to all the human family.